Despite what everyone says, getting to 10% body fat isn't that hard. So in this video, I'm gonna run you through the exact habits that I use to get me to 10% body fat. I always struggled with my confidence and how I looked. Growing up, I was always skinny, I hated how I looked, and I was usually the skinniest guy in any group of friends. This is when I turned to distractions instead of trying to fix why I felt like this. I was smoking weed and drinking to try and fill the void of how I actually felt. I knew something had to change, and I decided to take the gym seriously. Because I was always super skinny, I just wanted to get as big as possible so that I didn't feel like a skinny boy anymore, which led me down the path of dirty bulking. 4,000 to 5,000 calories every single day, smashing mass gainer shakes and making myself feel sick. Yes, this helped me put on size, but I also put on quite a bit of fat. Apart from still being unhappy with how I looked, I also felt horrible. I was constantly full, I had brain fog 24/7, and I was constantly tired. For the amount of work I was putting in, I wasn't happy and I still just felt like a chubby guy. I had enough of looking and feeling like this, so I decided it was time to get lean. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the exact habits that I use to get me to 10% body fat and the best shape of my life. Sleep is something most people overlook. I used to sit on my phone till 1 or 2 in the morning, scrolling on Reels and TikTok like a retard, and actually messed up my sleeping pattern. Then I would get up at work at 6 a.m, get about 4, 5, 6 hours sleep every night. I would also drink caffeine at the end of the day because I used to train after work and I needed extra energy after being tired. I thought it didn't really have a massive effect on my life because I was still training and going to work. But after getting my sleep pattern in check and sleeping 8 hours plus every night, I notice a massive difference. When you're sleep deprived, your hunger hormone ghrelin is increased. And this is gonna make losing fat even harder because obviously you're gonna be more hungry. Sleep deprivation also increases cortisol levels, which is the hormone responsible for stress. The more stressed we are, the lower our testosterone is, which is gonna make gaining muscle even harder and losing fat even harder. Since getting my sleep in check, the difference that I feel is crazy. I have so much more energy and I'm so much more motivated to train, and my body fat overall started to drop. Obviously, we want to be sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night, but everyone knows this is not something new, but I did find a way that helped me get my sleep pattern in check. You want to sleep at the same time every single night and get up at the same time every single day. This gets your circadian rhythm in check, which is basically your body's clock that tells it when it's morning and when it's night. If this rhythm is messed up, your body doesn't know what hormones to produce when, and everything is going to be out of alignment. One way that I found to actually help me go to sleep on time was setting a time to go to sleep and sticking to it. And at that time, making sure my phone is on charge and I'm not on it. Otherwise, I'm going to sit on Instagram Reels, looking at absolute bullshit until 1 in the morning. And by then, my sleep schedule is already messed up. Don't be an absolute degenerate and actually stick to getting your sleep in check and watch how it changes your life. Another thing that I used to do was eat just before sleeping. I would have a massive mass gainer shake of about 1,000 calories right before bed at 12 o'clock. What this would do is leave me full when I'm sleeping so that my body is still digesting food when it should be resting, which means I'm actually not getting as good sleep as I could. I'm not getting any REM sleep. I'm pretty much half asleep because my body is still awake digesting food, which leaves me tired in the morning, and you also put on even more fat at night. I would wake up bloated and tired no matter how much sleep I got because I was eating way too late. Now I try not to eat anything too heavy a few hours before I sleep, and this has improved my sleep quality so much. Now when I wake up, I'm not bloated. I've got a flat stomach and I can see more muscle definition. My face also isn't completely bloated and it's leaner and more defined. You might think you need to do hours of cardio every day to reach 10% body fat, but that is simply not true. In reality, your diet is so much more important than cardio. You cannot outtrain a bad diet. Before getting lean, I ate whatever I wanted. As I said, I was dirty bulking. I wanted to get as big as possible. I would eat chocolate, sweets, crisps, anything high fat, sugar, sweets, processed food, Whatever it was, I would eat it, and I didn't think it would have that big of an effect on my body and how I felt. I would literally eat McDonald's breakfast a few times a week, and I would order Wingstop twice a week. On top of all this, I would then snack on crisps, chocolate sweets throughout the day, every single day, and I thought it was having no effect. Everyone says diet is key. Everyone would tell me to fix my diet and look how my results are going to change, but honestly, I didn't believe them. I thought because I was always super skinny that I would get away with it. But in reality, it's gonna make you fat no matter what. Food is literally fuel for your body. Think of it that way. If you put crap into a car, it's not gonna run very well. The same with your body. You need to start thinking as food as fuel, because that's what it is. When you think of it like that and you have that mindset, you don't even wanna eat the crap food. Once I switch to a clean diet, if I eat something bad, it makes me feel awful. I literally sit on my ass and sleep. I don't feel like myself, and it makes me feel heavy and just not how I want to feel. You don't just have to eat disgusting clean food to have a good diet. You can focus on things like chicken, protein, nuts, fruit, anything like that is going to be clean, and it's going to fuel your body and also keep you clean and healthy. Avoid highly processed food, things like fried chicken and fries. These are not what we want to eat to get to 10% body fat. I also cut out refined sugar. This is one of the hardest things for me to cut out because I have a sweet tooth. I have to walk past people eating sweets at work and say no, but discipline is one of the things that is going to transform your physique. You will have to make sacrifices somewhere along the line if you want to get in the best shape of your life. But trust me, nothing tastes as good as looking good. I remember I was about 2 days into eating clean, and I came home and my dad had put Haribo's on my bed that he had bought from the shops for me. And the old me would have taken that whole bag and eaten it in a few minutes with no problems. But because I was so disciplined on my diet, I took those out, put them back in the kitchen for someone else to have. And honestly, that is the discipline that you need. At first, that is going to be hard. I did struggle to do that. But over time, the more clean diet you eat for the longer amount of time, the easier it's going to get to say no to things that you know you should not be eating. Picking something up, processed, and actually eating it becomes harder over time because you know how you're going to feel if you eat that. After you eat clean, you feel the change straight away, and you don't want to go back to that old, fat, slow, sloppy version of yourself. I knew I needed to make the change to a clean diet, and since doing it, my mind is sharper, I look better, my body fat is lower, I've got more energy, I'm having better workouts. Everything changed. However, I do have one cheat day a week. This basically stops me from losing my mind. As I said, I have a sweet tooth, so I really enjoy foods that are bad for me, sugary, highly processed foods. I do enjoy that. So one day a week, I let myself eat whatever I want, so that the other 6 days I stay disciplined and I have something to look forward to. Without this, I would probably just crash out and ruin my entire diet, and slowly over time just start implementing old food and basically ruin any progress that I've made. So a cheat day is essential for keeping me on track. Other people might disagree with this, but honestly, I think balance is key. Having a 6-to-1 balance, I think is fine. If anyone disagrees, honestly, that's fine, but this works for me and it keeps me on track. Some of the go-to foods that I have when I'm eating clean are 5% Greek yogurt with berries, fajitas, because I enjoy those, and salmon and rice. If you're eating the same food every single day that you don't enjoy, it's gonna make staying clean and staying consistent on that diet so much harder. You wanna eat food that is good for you, that you also enjoy. Instead of eating crisps and sweets, I now eat fruit. My favorite fruit at the moment being kiwis. Honestly, they're probably better than sweets, and they make you feel great after you eat it. If I am really craving something sweet and I can't help but really want that, sometimes I'll let myself have some dark chocolate, which actually isn't that bad for you, in moderation, and overall, it's probably one of the best things that you could have that is still sweet. Everyone's calorie intake level is going to be different, but when I switched my calories from a surplus to maintenance around 3,000 calories a day, I started noticing a difference. As I said, I was dirty bulking, I was eating so much horrible food, my body fat was around 16%, and as soon as I switched my diet to 3,000 clean calories around my maintenance calories, maybe a little bit over, that is when I started seeing my body fat come down, but I was still gaining muscle. Also, focusing on my protein intake really helped me when I'm training and also recovering and building muscle, Because your protein intake needs to be high to keep you full and actually recover your muscles with protein synthesis, it's really important that you're getting the right amount of protein in your diet and actually tracking this. Before tracking, I didn't realize I wasn't eating enough protein. You want to be having about 1 gram of protein every single day, per pound of body weight that is. If you're 80 kilos like me, you want to have 180 grams of protein every single day. As I said, protein is actually really filling, so it's going to keep you full throughout the day. So if you are in a calorie deficit or you're struggling not to eat, protein is going to be great for keeping you full. Protein also helps boost test. If you're not having enough protein, your testosterone level drops. If you're having the right amount of protein, your testosterone is going to regulate, and that is going to be great for losing fat and building muscle. Of course, doing cardio helps to burn fat, but remember, you cannot outtrain a bad diet. Cardio is great for helping you lose fat, but too much cardio is going to overstress your body, increase your cortisol level, reduce test, and overall not help you lose fat. So it's really important to get the balance between too much cardio and the right amount of cardio. You might think that you need to be doing 10K runs every single day to get to 10% body fat, but this simply is not the case. This is going to be way too much cardio and it's actually not going to help you. Instead, you want to do steady state cardio. Personally, I do an incline treadmill walk for 20 to 30 minutes after every single workout, and this puts me in the right place to be burning fat and not muscle. Obviously, when I was bulking, I wasn't doing this sort of cardio. As soon as I started, I noticed a difference straight away. I felt better, I had more muscle definition, and overall, my body fat started to come down. My training stayed the exact same. I continued lifting as heavy as I could. The only 3 changes I made were these 3 changes. These helped me go from 16% body fat all the way down to 10%. Without doing anything crazy. My muscle definition improved, my face got chiseled, and overall, I just felt 10 times better. Implement these 3 things into your training and I guarantee that you will see results. If you need help with this or you want to work directly with me one-to-one, click the top link in the description to book a call where we discuss your fitness goals and your next steps. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe, let me know in the comments how you found it. I make videos like this for men every single day to help you become your best. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video.